guys, what's going on? How are y'all doing tonight? This is the Club of the Man 1993 back up here again for another live review. Of course, I've had several videos uploaded today, getting caught up with some things with NXT, AEW, of course, earlier. Got my Turn Alert, next part of my Harry Potter Let's Play in, and now we're on my Smackdown review. So I did not get to watch Smackdown last night. I, of course, was catching up with NXT, and then I was also video chatting with some friends to catch up as well. Had a good time with that. So I didn't watch Smackdown this week, but I did watch the highlights. Overall, I wasn't bored. Last week's Smackdown just bored me. I couldn't even function really to wrap my mind around if I liked the show or not, because it was just there. Really. This week's show, I watched the highlights. It was decent. There was some things I liked, some things I did not like. Some things that were interesting. But then, it was still, nothing that memorable. But I would say it was still decent. It was something I didn't feel like it was something decent that I feel like, didn't feel like completely I wasted my time, but I'm not going to remember much from this show, really. We also have some breaking news to talk about as well when we get to a certain match. And I'm also going to have my phone handy because there's something I also have to rant about as well. So let's get rolling this show first. We opened up with a Miz TV segment. With Miz and Morrison, hey, ho, Otis then comes out, Mr. Money in the Bank. One second. Sorry, Mr. Money in the Bank, Otis comes out. I'm sorry, I got distracted by my phone by a text message. Stop texting me. Okay, you know what? Screw it. Putting the phone over here. Well, I'm going to need it in a second, in a little bit anyways, just because of, I need to rant about something really quick after I once get to it. Okay, phone over here. Not getting distracted anymore by any text messages. I'm sorry. It's not good. Not wise of me. Alright, anyways, shut up, Mike, and I actually started talking. Okay, so, starts off with a Miz TV segment with Miz and Morrison, hey, ho, and Mr. Money in the Bank, Otis, comes out. And, he's very excited, holding up the briefcase, and Otis seems to celebrate. But then, when he goes to sit in this chair, it breaks. Enough of this whole fat joke stuff with Otis, okay? Again, Braun Strowman is bigger than Otis. He weighs more than Otis. He is taller than Otis. He can sit in a chair just fine. He can climb a ladder just fine. Otis can climb a ladder. Otis can actually sit in a chair without it breaking. Enough of these fat jokes or these moments to emphasize that Otis is basically fat. We don't need to do that. I'm sorry. I do not like when people make fun of people's bodies like that. That's not funny. So, Otis stands for the remainder of the segment. Said even though Money in the Bank was a big win, the biggest win of his career was winning the heart of Mandy Rose. How adorable. I'm still jealous of you, Otis, but I love you, buddy. Morrison asks him, now he pulled that off, implying that he has large genitals or is great in bed. Miz is now showing a picture of baby Otis, all 12 pounds and 4 ounces of him. They go through more pictures of Otis from his youth, insulting that this clumsy mommy's boy buffoon, he's got the briefcase and the girl, which once again, enough of the fat jokes. Otis didn't even have to climb the ladder. Miz can't believe that Otis is one step away from being Universal Champion, which neither can I. But it's not the worst idea in the world. Like you were saying, Otis actually has a character that is getting over. It's just he's not ready to be a world champion. Again, I would still say Otis should probably have a long-term run with the Money in the Bank briefcase and probably hold it till around WrestleMania. Maybe even cash in at WrestleMania next year. Because he has a character that's worked from the bottom up and is getting over. But again, he's not even close to being ready to be a world champion. Knowing Vince, though, he wants to take control of this whole Otis and Mandy Rose storyline because the person who did, who was writing it, that Andrea, whatever the heck her last name was, she got let go back on April the 15th. But anyways, so, Miz wants to have a tag match against Otis tonight and his tag team partner Tucker, but then Otis says that Tucky is not available due to having some digestive issues. So then Miz tells him to find a partner by the end of the show for a tag match against him and Morrison. Okay, again, like I said, I'm not upset Otis won. I didn't expect it. I still, even though the storyline with him and Mandy has been produced great, I don't think Otis is ready to be world champion yet. Which is why, again, I didn't think he should have won that match. But now that he has a briefcase, it's not the worst idea in the world. Give him a long-term run with that. Again, around WrestleMania next year, have him cash in. I think, that would be, even if he cashed in at WrestleMania next year, if it built up right, cool. But he needs time. He needs the time to get built up. I don't think he's ready yet for the main event scene. Yeah, he's entertaining, we love him, but he's not ready to be jumping out of the mid cards either. I think. I still think him and Tucker Take should have a run with the tag titles, but apparently they are going to be splitting them up, which I still think is dumb. But so that opens up the segment that gets set up who's going to be Otis' tag team partner. So then we have announcing Sami Zayn was stripped of the Intercontinental Championship. Apparently did an injury or something. I don't know. We haven't seen Sami since his Intercontinental Championship match against Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 36, which is a very big disappointment to me. Should have been an excellent match, but instead they once again reduced down the fact that apparently Sami Zayn can't wrestle, which I don't get why. So they're having a tournament. The bracket includes, now here's where I'm going to do a little bit of ranting. Grabbing the phone again. Pulling something up that we're going to talk about here. So the matches are Daniel Bryan and Drew Gulak, which is one match we got last night, along with Elias and King Corbin. We're also going to have Jeff Hardy and Sheamus, which I'm like, you serious? Like we really built up Jeff Hardy and Sheamus for a pay-per-view match before a tournament match? Whatever, not the worst thing in the world. Elias and King Corbin, okay? That's 6 SmackDown superstars. The fourth match is Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles. AJ Styles is on Raw. We're doing this whole brand-to-brand invitation. Shut up, it's a freaking wildcard rule. Why is AJ Styles getting inserted? I love AJ Styles. We all here, even people in the live chat, we love AJ Styles. Why is AJ Styles getting handpicked for a SmackDown championship opportunity, for a championship on SmackDown, over a bunch of other guys who should be in this tournament? Let me see here. Let's go through the SmackDown roster. Think who else could possibly be getting a good shot. Big E. I wouldn't mind seeing him getting in this tournament. Big E and Shinsuke Nakamura. Sounds good. Bo Dallas? Haha. I doubt they're going to give Bo Dallas a chance. I still can't believe he's not released yet. The big one. Cesaro. Why can't Cesaro be in this tournament? Oh, but him and Shinsuke are partners. Yeah, so? So? Cesaro could be in this tournament. No, he can't be. Ziggler, Grand Metalik? Maybe. Who knows? John Morrison? Kofi? I'll take Kofi in the tournament. I mean, even Miz, if they wanted to. If he ever comes back, Mustafa Ali, yeah. Robert Roode's not around right now. Chad Gable? Yeah, Chad Gable, not Shorty G. Not the Fiend, he's probably going to be getting another match against Braun Strowman. But there's much more options. Why do we have to pull a random superstar, which I should say random because once again, we all love AJ, a superstar from Raw, to be in a SmackDown Mid-Card Championship tournament? I'd be pissed if I was like Cesaro or, Kofi or Big E or any of the other names that I mentioned, Morrison, Miz. You had to pick AJ Styles. You couldn't put, especially Cesaro, you couldn't put Cesaro in this tournament. Ridiculous. So, anyway, so we had that bracket revealed. That's the matches. Although, I'm thinking if we're getting AJ Styles and Nakamura, I'm hoping it's going to come down to what I think a lot of people are hoping it will come down to. But we'll get to that momentarily. But the first match we have is Elias versus King Corbin. Obviously, just another chapter in this feud. Elias returned after being off TV for a few weeks after Corbin beat him down backstage a couple weeks ago, and Elias costed Corbin the Money in the Bank contract at Money in the Bank to get his revenge. So they have this match, and what do you expect? I mean, Elias's in-ring ability has gotten better. I will give him that. He actually is impressing me a little bit more in the ring. But there was some big stupid thing about this match. Baron Corbin was using Elias's guitar, and Elias got pissed by that. And then later, Corbin smashes the guitar into a post, breaking it as well, and Elias gets pissed about that. If it was NXT, where they actually did not break Elias' guitar until he lost the that loser leaves NXT match against Cassius Ohno that wrote him out of NXT. You remember that? And how Elias actually never got his guitar ruined at all, broke down from it? Yeah, that made sense. Elias has been on the main roster now for how many... Well, let me think. When did Elias first come up? I think it was 2017, I think? Yeah, I think it was that. 2017. 2017 was when Elias came up to the main roster. And how many guitars has he broken on his own terms? So why is Elias now all of a sudden getting upset over someone touching his guitar or breaking his guitar? Made no sense. But Elias got the victory, which I'm fine with. Corbin doesn't need to be moving on, because once again, we all can't stand Corbin. So Elias gets the victory here. And then afterwards, we see Otis backstage searching for a tag team partner. He sees Sheamus, and asks if he'll be his partner. And Sheamus is like, I get excited. He's like, yeah, you want to be my partner? Want to be my partner? Aha, not a chance, fella. So Sheamus walks away. We then see Mandy Rose finding Otis. He's concerned he won't be able to find anyone to be his partner. But then she suggests, why don't you ask Braun Strowman? And he says, you're a genius. And he goes off to find the Universal Champion. Is Otis having something up his sleeve with that briefcase? Then we have another video with the mystery hacker. He is everywhere, watching everyone, and nobody is safe. The truth will be heard. He seems to be watching a lot of clips from the network, so he might need some better hitting cameras or something, which again, I'm still thinking this is going to be Mustafa Ali, based off that light thing, that like little light symbol, and who knows, hopefully we'll get that soon. Then we see Otis again, looking for Strowman. He finds him. They congratulate each other. Otis then asks Braun to be his partner, but then Braun's like, hang on, Aaron, hang on. Are you looking for an excuse to get me in the ring to cash in the contract? Otis denies that. But Braun respects Otis' direct approach, and he tells him, I'll think about it. So he says he'll think about it. It's like, a lot of people think about, I don't know, I'm not sure where I was going with this. Then we have Naomi versus Dana Brooke in a rematch because apparently Naomi wanted to get revenge on Dana for beating her for getting the Money in the Bank. And Dana wins again. And we also had an exclusive interview that I saw also, completely scripted. Dana Brooke called the SmackDown Women's Championship the WWE Women's Championship of SmackDown. And she said confidence like 50 times in a minute and a half promo. You can tell that was scripted. Dana Brooke reading promos, I'm sorry, is a complete... She sounds like a complete robot. Like, I will become the SmackDown Women's Champion. I will beat Bayley. I will do this. I will. She sounds like a freaking robot. So now, obviously, they need another way to kill time. It doesn't look like Tamina's still coming after Bayley. Thank God. So what are they going to do to fill time? They're going to have Dana Brooke take on Bayley probably at Backlash. I can tell you right now that's what they're going with that. Dana Brooke is racking up some victories. She's going to get a title shot against Bayley at Backlash. Just to kill some more time before we get to Sasha and Bayley at SummerSlam. Will we? Because remember 2 years ago, we should have gotten it, even though it was meant to set them for winning the tag titles at SummerSlam 2 years ago, but Vince didn't like the design, so that got put on hold. So who the hell knows? So yeah, Dana Brooke all of a sudden is probably become number one contender. How much more pathetic has this women's division gotten? But anyways, speaking of women, next up was Charlotte Flair. And, this is typical, we've been hearing this crap for months. And also, I'm pretty sure Vince wrote this promo that Charlotte recited because of the stuff she said in it. She comes out and calls herself the hardest working woman in the industry. The numbers were crunched and the people want more Charlotte. Vince line right there. The numbers were crunched. She mentioned the brand invitation, but she said the numbers were crunched. Obviously, again, that's Vince. That's all Vince. And the people want more Charlotte Flair. She even mentioned a bunch of her accolades, including saying she's blonde. She said she was blonde. So I'm like, once again, Vince. That's Vince just firing the shots. Because we all know what we complain about, right, guys? People need more Charlotte Flair. Well, okay, we love Charlotte, but we don't need to see her all the time. So that's why she's on all three brands. Ugh. She's won 5 of her 12 titles on SmackDown, and it's surprised they don't have a giant poster of her declaring her the greatest as an inspiration to others. And that brings out Sasha and Bayley. Bayley's like, I'm a role model, I don't lie. It's nice to see Charlotte, but then she mocks her woo, and then she says, last time I saw you, Charlotte, I defeated you for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Charlotte says that Bayley only got the job done that night because she got a new haircut. Bayley tells Charlotte, go back to NXT or Raw because SmackDown is hers and Sasha's show right now. Bayley is the most dominant champion, so get out of my ring. Charlotte says that Sasha's the only reason that Bayley's champ. And of course, basically, blah, 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 you're just an afterthought, living in her shadow, you're speak for yourself, blah, blah, blah. Same crap we're giving. Basically, Vince saying, you want a split? Oh, we're teasing a split. You don't know how to write drama to tease a split. You just give it away. Oh, they're going to split up. There's no swerves. I'm not saying Isaiah Swerve Sky, but there's no swerves in your stories anymore. So typical, blah, 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 trying to drive a revenge between Sasha and Bayley. Whatever. But also, it sounds like we're going to get a match next week with with Bayley and Charlotte. Champion versus champion. Yeah, I don't care. Do you? Nah, sorry. We have a problem with the Forgotten Sons. They choose to serve their country to fight for something they believe in, but they were then shunned by society. So now they're going to beat the crap out of people, pretty much is what they said. Which I like. Again, I feel like in NXT we didn't really get to hear much from the Forgotten Sons. I know they're really not the best in the ring. I mean, I was impressed with their when they were runners up in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic last year. But definitely these promos I feel has helped me understand them a little bit more and like find them. I'm not like a big Forgotten Sons fan, but at least find them a little bit more accepting than I was when they were in NXT. So fine with the promo. Backstage, Miz and Morrison are being interviewed. Morrison says Braun is called Braun, not Brain because he's stupid. But even Braun isn't dumb enough to fall for Otis's obvious cash-in trap. They sing their typical song, and you know. Next up though is Daniel Bryan versus Drew Gulak. Teacher versus student. Well, coach versus whatever we want to call it. Another good match. Definitely not as good though as their match in Philadelphia. That was an awesome match. These two know each other really well and whatnot. And then Bryan eventually wins with the heel hook, which he hasn't used that for a while. I think since when he first turned heel in 2018, which I actually really like that submission, the heel hook. It's good for something different. Afterwards, Bryan with a promo in the ring, he says he has never gotten another shot at the IC title since he had to relinquish it when he retired in 2015. Even though he lost at WrestleMania 36 though for the IC title, he wants that title to represent the absolute best wrestler in the WWE, and that's him. And then him and Gulak shake hands and they embrace. But breaking news! Breaking news before we move on here, though. That was actually Drew Gulak's last match in WWE. It was announced a couple hours ago before I got on. And my good friend Mark Johnson, shout out to him, tweeted me this, that Drew Gulak has departed, and the WWE have agreed to part ways. Drew Gulak is released and already in the alumni section. Which shocked me and surprised me for sure. Because, they actually were going somewhere with Drew Gulak, having him, feud with Daniel Bryan, and then Bryan obviously put him over saying that, look, I may have beaten you at Elimination Chamber, but you obviously, exposed some of my holes in my game. So I'm willing to learn if you're willing to coach. And honestly, I would have been okay with Bryan and Gulak eventually having a run with the tag titles. Or like some of you said, Bryan, I think it was T and Coupon suggested, Bryan and Gulak having an Iron Man match. With the good technical specialists they both are, that would have been freaking awesome to have. But I read an article that apparently Gulak's contract had expired, and him and the WWE were not able to come to terms on the money. So he parted ways. Surprised, definitely. Again, they were actually starting to do something with Gulak after they first brought him over to SmackDown in the Superstar Shakeup last October. Well, the redraft, as I call it. They didn't give him much to do, but then they finally had this feud with Bryan, and they actually made him feel credible again. But unfortunately, it's come to an end, and Gulak's going to be going somewhere else. I wish him the best for sure. Again, it came as a surprise for me, but again, it was not released because of, the budget cuts or anything like that. Again, it's just that, his contract ran up, they couldn't come to terms on another deal, so that's why he left, apparently. So, shocked, but wish the best for Drew for sure. I definitely think he's one person I still say benefited a lot from whenever Triple H took over writing 205 Live. He had a great run. He had some great matches, on there with the likes of Cedric Alexander. He had a lot of matches with the Lucha House Party, I know. Him and Tony Nese, of course, in that first match where he won by TKO. In the Cruiserweight Championship tournament back in 2018 after Enzo Amore was fired. He had a great run as Cruiserweight Champion last summer, I thought, as well. I know he had a couple of good matches. Oh, he had some good submission matches against likes of Kushida, Matt Riddle as well. He was definitely underrated, and he definitely had a lot of talent for sure. And I definitely think he'll do some great things for sure wherever he goes. So, I'm shocked. I'll miss you, Drew. And, again, wish you good luck. Afterwards, we then are announced that next week we're going to have a mixed tag match with Mandy and Otis taking on Sonya and Dolph. we have this pretty good promo cut by Sonya Deville with Dolph Ziggler backstage. Sonya mocks Otis's lifestyle and says Mandy will never be a winner like her. She's just getting started with ruining Mandy's life. She calls Mandy a bitch, and then Dolph just stares on without saying a word. Pretty good promo by Sonya. Again, she definitely is getting better. Again, I remember when she first came up, I was not too big of a fan of her. I thought she just put on just a bunch of slow sparring matches, but recently especially, she's really come into her element. And I think she definitely is on the rise. And Mandy too. They both have gotten very better. But yes, Sonya definitely, I gotta give her some credit. Because again, she's come a long way. I remember when she was first in NXT and when she got called up again, I wasn't too fond of her. I just didn't really see anything that special in her. But lately, definitely, you can tell she's improved a lot. And of course, I always say, I'm exactly 2 days older than Sonya. But of course, Mandy's the one that, sorry, she's Otis's girl, but still, makes me jealous. Anyways, Braun Strowman accepted Otis' invitation. Braun Strowman and Otis defeated Miz and Morrison. But as they celebrate, Mandy Rose came out to celebrate as well. But then Otis grabbed the briefcase. Braun turned around and kind of like flinched at him. Braun caught him and Otis was like, hey, I'm kidding. It's not happening. So there was a little bit of tension, but then they fist bumped and then Otis embraced Mandy and that's how the show ended. Alright, show. I gave it a C+. It was decent. I wouldn't say it was amazing, but it was decent and a little more interesting. Anyways, so live chat. Let's check and see what the live chat says. Oh, I forgot to mention also, who would I like to see come down for the IC title Intercontinental Championship tournament? I think it should come down to Bryan and Nakamura. I think, again, Bryan is at a point in his career again where he wants to be putting people over. And with of course, Gulak being gone, he was definitely, working to make Gulak a big star. Like Daniel Bryan behind the scenes, like you hear these stories, he's at a point now where he wants to make people look good. I mean, he keep himself look credible, but make other people look good. Just like he wanted to do when he turned heel, put over a big baby face, give him a big moment at WrestleMania. He succeeded with that with Kofi Kingston. He really put over, Drew Gulak, teaming up with him. He put over The Fiend as well, and other people. So I think him winning an Intercontinental Championship would be a good idea. Have him, kind of go on a run like, John Cena did as U.S. Champion for a few months. Put people over, make them look strong before, giving someone else the IC title, or Sami Zayn comes back and he actually wrestles a match and gets it back. I'd be cool with that. Well, let's check the live chat and see what we got here. Let's see here. What's up, Tina Couponer? Not too bad yourself. Do you think Dolph and Sonya will cost Otis the world title? It maybe. Again, I don't know. I still think Otis should hold that briefcase until sometime early next year. He needs the time, I think, to build up for that world title match. Well, that world title opportunity that he will get. The thing is, though, again, I'm not sure if there's really any need after this mixed tag match to continue the Otis, Dolph, Mandy, and Sonya storyline, because it's kind of like, because Otis has beaten Dolph already multiple times, in my opinion. So we'll see. Cesaro should have been either in this tournament or Money in the Bank winner. Yeah, he should have, but unfortunately, once again, they crap on him and think he's nothing. He also tweeted me about Elias's Raw debut. Thank you. What's up, Tyler? AJ needs to win the IC title and stay on SmackDown. Maybe, I don't know. Again, I love AJ, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, AJ is IC champion, cool, but I don't know. Again, I feel like, I'm not sure. Maybe, who knows? Yes. And he also says Bryan versus Styles will be the final. Bryan Styles, okay, but I've seen them a couple times last year already. I still think we need to see Bryan and Nakamura on pay-per-view, though. That's why I'm hoping the finals are Daniel Bryan and Shinsuke Nakamura. We need to see that on pay-per-view. Bryan, Nakamura. Should have been a WrestleMania main event, for crying out loud. But again, we had it on live TV right before WrestleMania. They need to have it at a pay-per-view. Just my opinion. But And there's nothing left for Brian left to do on SmackDown, Tyler says. That's going to do it, guys. That's my live review. For the rest of the weekend, I'm going to try to, get my Harry Potter Let's Play done, which I probably will not, but I'll at least get one of the 2 last videos, because I also want to work on, stuff for my, my virtual trivia night with my cousins in 2 weeks. I definitely, but the 2 things for this channel, I definitely want to get done also are my NXT TakeOver In Your House printed match card, and my Backlash printed match card as well. So those 2 things, definitely my Harry Potter Goblet of Fire Let's Play try to get finished. I want to start playing this game soon. Well, this is the last for my Let's Play, but definitely get my first shot at this game. My Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 game that I had to buy because the internet gave me issues. But, I'll be able to do Let's Plays of all of those games now for my channel, which I'm excited about. And I'm still practicing Order of the Phoenix as well for the first time. Well, the second time before I do that Let's Play after I finish Goblet of Fire. So, yeah, guys, that's going to do it. Thank you for joining me live for this SmackDown stream. This coming week, things should get back on track. Most of my shows that I watch, like other shows besides, wrestling, which I watch, usually, the Connors or Survivor or SVU or Young Sheldon, their new episodes, they're done for right now. And of course, Trivia Night's not back yet for my Wednesday nights I usually go to, so till then I'll be able to actually catch Dynamite or NXT live on Wednesdays, and won't be able to be so behind, and hopefully get things more back on track. Again, it's been another crazy couple of weeks with me getting back to work, which I'm surprised. So as always, guys, just thank you for your patience as always, and stay tuned for more content to come as well. Make sure to also check out my Timothy Thatcher Turn Alert. Next part, this is my Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire PC gameplay, and a bunch of other things. But yeah. So also we have one more question from Elaser Gameplays. This is Raw. What do you think about the reign of Andrade? I've liked that Andrade's been able to get a run in the mid-card championship pretty long term, but lately, what are they doing with him? Kind of leaving him, to almost nothing to do, and he's just jobbing out to Drew, which I know him and Drew can have a good match. They had a great match at TakeOver War Games when Almas won the NXT Championship off him in 2017. But give him something to do again, and also definitely don't continue with that trio and send Austin Theory back to NXT. But yeah, so that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you for joining me live, and thank you also to Elaser Gameplays as well for joining us for a new face as well. So I'll see you guys later. Again, stay tuned for hopefully my 2 card predictions videos. And then I'll see you guys maybe Monday night or Tuesday night for me to review Raw. So anyways, what are your thoughts on this? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Slap a like on the video. Subscribe more content to my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAirBonnie3. Until then, guys, I'm checking out. I will see you all later. Have a great rest of your night. Peace out, everybody.